Welcome into today's webinar. My name is Hannah Spahn, and I'm the Client Experience Specialist here at Harris Federal Law Firm. Today, we're going to be talking about how your disability benefits will interact. It's crucial for you to understand how these benefits interact because we want you to be able to maximize your benefits and your finances. Some disability benefits work with one another and some work against one another. So it's important to know what is available to you and what your best options are. Today, I've got with me Caleb McKinley, our Senior Disability Consultant, and Michelle Green, a Senior Disability Case Manager. Both Michelle and Caleb speak with clients all the time about their options for disability benefits and how they may interact. So I'm super excited to see the knowledge that they both share today. Before we get started, please take a second to find the chat box in the corner of your screen. We have people here live answering your questions as they come in, so ask us whatever questions you may have and we will get to them as soon as possible. If you have detailed and specific questions, we recommend giving our office a call so that we can provide you with the best response. Now, a quick disclaimer. This webinar is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. This presentation is not establishing an attorney-client relationship and only serves as general educational purposes. Now, let's get started. Caleb and Michelle.
Well, thank you, Hannah, and thanks to everybody who's here in this webinar. And the goal for today's session is to kind of go through disability benefits for federal employees and how they all interact. So we're going to start by going just through a very high-level kind of general explanation of disability benefits, and then towards the second half of the webinar, we're going to be talking about how these benefits interact, because there is a lot of, again, VA, veterans disability, disability retirement, Social Security. So there's a lot of different types of disabilities. So we want to make sure that everybody understands how all these benefits will interact. My name's Caleb McKinley. I'm one of the senior disability consultants here with Harris Federal. And with me today is Michelle Green.
Hi, I am a Senior Disability Case Manager, and I am super happy to be here with you today, Caleb, to talk about all of these different possibilities for disability for someone who might need them.
Absolutely. So let's just jump right in here. So to summarize the discussion topics we'll be talking about today, number one, what disability benefits are there? So if you're suffering from a disease, injury, disability, mental, physical, there's a lot of different disabilities that qualify somebody for benefits. And so we'll talk about what they are. Number two, what is an offset? So what does it look like when you receive two different kinds or multiple different kinds of disability benefits? The third would be the interactions between each benefit. And the fourth would be how to maximize your benefits. So, some benefits will offer to pay financial, either monthly payments, annuities. Some will cover health insurance costs, or for family members, there's, a lot of different benefits that one would qualify for themselves and for others. And so we'll certainly talk about how all these benefits will interact.
Let's look again at the different benefits that we are going to discuss today. So there are 4 that we are going to talk about. In particular, we're going to discuss OWCP, which is Federal's Workers' Compensation Benefits, SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance. We also will look at VAD, which is Veterans Administration Disability Benefits. And finally, we will talk about FDR, which is Federal Disability Retirement.
So let's break down what is OWCP workers' compensation. So when a federal employee is injured while performing job duties at work or develops an occupational illness or disease, they have the right to file a federal workers' compensation claim. So we often talk about folks who are traumatically injured, so they're either suffering from broken arm, leg, back, knee, shoulder, etc., and really any kind of on-the-job injury that was traumatic. But then you also have a second type, which would be an occupational illness or disease, which is more of a wear and tear, ongoing type of medical condition, and both would qualify. Both benefits are covered by workers' compensation. And with that, workers' compensation offers 3 main benefits to those who are injured on the job, and each one has different qualification requirements.
So the first benefit that OWCP offers is wage loss payments. So this is going to be a percentage of your salary while you miss work and you're out for one of those injuries or illnesses that Caleb mentioned. In this case, OWCP will pay you a percentage of your salary, and that amount depends on whether or not you have dependents. If you do not have dependents, it will be 66% of your salary. If you do have dependents, those wage loss payments are 75% of your salary.
Now, alongside those wage loss payments, OWCP is also going to cover any medical treatment. So medical coverage is included in workers' comp benefits. The OWCP will cover your medical expenses pertaining to your approved claim if you qualify for medical coverage. It's important to note here as well that not all doctors are either familiar with OWCP procedures, and some of them will not accept OWCP patients at all. So it's important to ask your doctor if you decide to establish treatment with them if they're familiar with and or if they accept OWCP medical coverage. And also keep in mind, this medical coverage is for the lifetime of the medical condition. So if this requires multiple months or years of treatment, then OWCP is liable to cover those expenses.
A third benefit offered by OWCP is the Schedule Award. So a Schedule Award is a lump sum payment for a permanent impairment to any particular body part. The OWCP created a schedule of body parts that instructs federal workers on what qualifies for a Schedule Award. So essentially, each body part is awarded a certain amount that it is worth, and that depends on the percentage of disability established for that body part. An important note there is that the head and back, though they are major body parts, they are the two major body parts that are not included in this schedule. Having said that, if the head or back are causing impairments to other extremities, you could still qualify for a Schedule Award on those extremities or impacted body parts. Also, it is important to note that you can't receive your Schedule Award and wage loss payments at the same time. The Schedule Award typically comes after the wage loss payments have concluded.
So now that we have a basic understanding of OWCP benefits, let's transition to talk more about understanding what SSDI or Social Security Disability Insurance benefits you might qualify for. So what is SSDI? It is kind of by a simple definition, it is total and permanent disability. So Social Security Disability Insurance provides monthly payments and health coverage for totally disabled federal and non-federal employees. So this is a benefit that even if you were not a federal employee, you'd still qualify for if you're unable to work entirely. Again, this is a total and permanent disability benefit. However, you must have worked long enough and recently enough to qualify for SSDI. And there's going to be a lot of, again, similar benefits to workers' comp, but this does not necessarily have to be an on-the-job injury or disability that you qualify for. This could be, again, any kind of medical condition or impairment that prevents you from performing substantial gainful activity.
So to talk about substantial gainful activity for just a moment, if you are able to continue working in some capacity while you are on the SSDI benefit, there are limits to how much you can earn. You must remain within the substantial gainful activity limit, and this number changes every year. It is based on inflation. In 2024, that amount was $1,550 per month, or if you are blind, that number is $2,590 per month.
So the next type of disability benefit that we'll discuss now is VA disability. Now, VA disability, it is for a service-connected disability. So this is, again, stemming from military service. VA disability is a monthly benefit available to former military service members who have a disability or injury due to their service. Okay, and with this, it's, again, very similar to the ones we discussed prior, but you can receive healthcare coverage and monthly disability payments based on your military pay, and this income is completely non-taxable. So this is untaxed income. As I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with, this is a percentage scale or a rating scale that the VA determines, and that determines the monthly annuity or monthly disability payments that you would receive. And of course, the VA does provide health care to veterans.
That brings us to discuss federal disability retirement. So this is the primary benefit that we assist with as a law firm, and it is an early retirement option. So it's an early retirement option specifically for federal employees who are struggling in their job due to a medical condition. This benefit is administered by the Office of Personnel Management, and it serves as a bridge and lasts until you are age 62 when you are eligible for your regular FERS retirement.
That's right. And calling it a bridge is a great way to explain what this benefit does, because it continues to pay. If you're a federal employee who's unable to continue working, it'll pay you a monthly annuity payment. So you'll receive a portion of your high 3 average salary with creditable years of service. So this will continue to pay you until you turn 62 years old, but it's also going to continue to count as service credit towards your full federal pension whenever you turn 62. So this is certainly a long-term benefit that's very stable, and it'll also allow you to work in the private sector if you're able to do so. So this is, again, different from Social Security or SSDI. This is not total and permanent. This is more of an occupational type of disability, so you're able to still have other options to work in the private sector and also receive your health and life insurance. So your federal employee health benefit, your group life insurance plan, so those benefits are going to remain static. You'll be able to retain those benefits as if you're still employed, with no change to yourself or to your family members who might be covered. You know, your spouse, your children, those dependents would still be included in your life insurance and health insurance plan.
Now that we've talked about all these different benefits, let's spend a moment talking about how they interact and how they might impact one another. Receiving multiple benefits at any one time may mean that they could interact negatively. Now, not all interactions are negative. They might simply exist together, but there are things called offsets, meaning that one benefit may counteract another benefit, and this varies depending on the benefits in question.
All right, so focusing for a moment on the interactions that are specific to OWCP benefits. And are your OWCP benefits affected by other federal benefits? Of course, this answer is going to vary person to person and situation to situation, but the first is with SSDI, with Social Security disability. So your total benefits from OWCP and SSDI cannot exceed 80% of your pre-disability salary. Okay, so there's a hard cap. With both benefits combined, they cannot exceed 80% of what your salary would have been prior to your disability. Now, for VA disability benefits are calculated independently, so there is no interaction or negative offset between OWCP and VA disability. With FDR, federal disability retirement, while you cannot receive wage loss compensation and FDR simultaneously, you are eligible for scheduled awards or medical payments alongside FDR. So what this means is essentially your money may come, so your monthly income may come from disability retirement or OWCP, whichever one is greater, and then the medical treatment and the scheduled awards from workers' comp, you could receive those alongside the disability retirement benefits.
Now let's talk a little bit about the interactions with Social Security disability. Again, your total benefits from workers' comp and Social Security disability cannot exceed 80% of your pre-disability salary. So if you do have OWCP and Social Security disability, that 80% becomes your cap. VA disability is, again, calculated independently and does not have an interaction with Social Security disability. And finally, for federal disability retirement, there is an interaction between federal disability retirement and your Social Security disability. And in this case, your FDR annuity is reduced by 100% of your SSD benefit in the first year. Following that, the reduction drops to only 60% of your SSDI benefit until you reach age 62. So after that first year, you do get more money for having both benefits.
All right, so now we can talk a little bit more about the VA disability interactions, and this one across the board is the same answer. So for OWCP, for SSDI, and for federal disability retirement, there is no offset, reduction, and VA disability benefits are calculated independently. So if you're interested in receiving any other type of disability besides VA disability, keep in mind that there is no either reduction, penalty, offset. You can receive both benefits, really. You can receive them in full, and the VA disability will not change.
That brings us to our federal disability retirement interactions. So we did already address how these interact with the other benefits in the previous slides, but we do just want to reiterate again, because this is the benefit that we focus the most on here at Harris, and we can help the most with. It's important to reiterate that there is an offset with workers' compensation benefits, and that is that you cannot receive the wage loss payments at the same time as you receive your disability retirement payments, but you are eligible for schedule awards or medical payments while you have your FDR benefits. On Social Security disability, your annuity is offset by 100% of your Social Security disability in the first year, but after that, that offset drops to 60% until you reach age 62. And as Caleb just mentioned, VA disability is calculated independently and has absolutely no impact on this benefit.
So I hope this helped y'all to understand how to maximize your benefits and how all of these interact and offset with one another. So if you have any questions about any of this, I know there's people in the chat right now who would be happy to answer your questions, but we encourage a lot of folks to call in. Again, our firm, we're here, myself being one of the consultants. We have a team of consultants who are ready to answer questions and have a conversation with you about all of these different benefits and how they interact, because you can receive multiple of these disability benefits at once consecutively to provide you with the most financial benefit. So again, everybody's going to have unique questions. Every situation is going to be different. So if you have questions about how these benefits are interacted, if you even qualify for them, we'd be happy to answer your questions and have a full consultation or conversation with you about how to maximize them. All right, so just to recap the discussion here today, take advantage of your disability benefits. That, I think, is the bottom line here. There are a lot of different types of disability, really 4 main disability benefits that we've covered today. For federal employees specifically, which is OWCP workers' compensation, Social Security disability insurance, VA disability, and federal disability retirement. And again, you may be able to receive multiple benefits at once in order to benefit the most financially, and again, be able to maximize your income and your medical care, which is very important. And so when you're making all these important decisions and looking through your options, don't risk your future. Don't risk going about these situations with any unanswered questions or any kind of unknown. We're here to help. We're here to answer those questions, give you full clarity and confidence when you're navigating this, because it can be very difficult and very stressful to navigate all of this alone. Harris Federal's experienced legal team, we have done over 8,000 of federal disability retirement cases. We've served them to a very, very high level of success. About 99.9% is our overall success rating for approval, and we have over 700 5-star reviews on Google. So the overwhelming majority of our clients have been very satisfied and very happy with their experience working with our firm. And we'd be happy to do the same for you. We'd be happy to have a conversation to give you the confidence that you need to make sure that your claim is ready for an approval.
Once again, the chat is open. We have team members available in there to answer any questions you may have. If for any reason you do not get your question answered today, please give us a call. Caleb is here with his entire team to answer your questions and make sure you get all of the information you need to make important decisions moving forward. And thank you guys so much for being here with us today. Caleb, it is always a pleasure to talk with you.
Likewise, I had a great time going through this webinar together, and like Michelle said, if you have questions, we'd be happy to help answer them. Thank you all so much for your time, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you again for joining in on this webinar today. I know this was a lot of information, but we have a ton of resources that you can access on our YouTube channel and on our website to help simplify these benefits a little bit more. The chat is going to be staying open for about 10 more minutes so that we can answer all of your questions. But if we don't get to any of your questions today, please give our office a call to schedule a free consultation. We have consultation specialists who are here, ready, and excited to talk to you about all of your benefits. We host these webinars twice a month, so be sure to check out the schedule on our website and watch any of our previous webinars on our YouTube channel. Thank you again for joining us today. We hope to see you next time.